A few things I've done, man. I can tell you, like, it's amazing. It's amazing. Like, I'm enjoying this space so much. I am preparing to, like, get some kind of certification there so that I can do more bigger things, you know what I mean? Although I already gained the coding knowledge before entering there, so the scripting part of it is more, it's not much of a problem. So,
Yeah,
um,
like, can I
the
ask,
next one.
before you got into cybersecurity, how much experience did you have in general with IT? Did you start from zero, or did you get like I don't know, from programming background?
Yeah, already learned web development. I was already a web developer before although before I started learning web development, my passion was to do cybersecurity. Then along the line, I had to do web development because down here, that's the most thing you have to start with. And when I was making my researches on languages to learn, I saw like Golang, Python, Ruby, C++. JavaScript wasn't much of a, that is what the 10th part of it or something. But then I had to start with JavaScript because my advisor said, if I start with JavaScript, it will help me gain a vast knowledge and it will be easier for me to understand the
Yeah,
rest
like I
languages.
agree to a degree, but like I always say Python is much easier than JavaScript, or like
Python. Python is just the way I see Python right now, I can script with Python. It's not like I'm a pro there, but I can script with Python. Like it's not much of a problem for me. Python is like speaking English. If you can speak English well, you can write Python well.
yeah, the only thing you have to be careful with is the syntax, of course. And the thing is, Python can be
Yeah.
easily weaponized as well, because like with
Really,
JavaScript,
easy-
sorry.
really easy to weaponize it because of indentations and it's easy to introduce a bug there.
Yeah, definitely. And like with JavaScript, it's good because you understand how an application works. That's why it's always good to learn JavaScript. But uh,
Yeah.
like if you really want to get to the core of applications and how to do that, then you will have to learn many different languages, of course. But JavaScript is a great one to start with. But then, of course, you have people who want to automate things that they hunt for as well, and that is more of a Python thing. Of course, you can use JavaScript for that as well. Like today, somebody was attacking my website with JavaScript. They wrote a simple repeater that always just did the same thing. So I'll have to look into how I can defeat that. But it's interesting how these hackers find a way to abuse almost anything, right?
It's amazing. Like it's a cool thing. It's a cool thing. Just hackers I think are the most critical thinkers they have in the world. Because
Definitely.
the way hackers exploit every little mistake you make in your code, every little mistake. You are the one writing the code, but then you wouldn't see the little mistake. Hackers will come and exploit it for you and tell you this is the wrong thing you did.
Yeah,
So
and it can be dormant for so long as well, which is very dangerous because those dormant bugs can be really affecting you badly.
right. You're
Like,
right about that.
the thing is, a dormant bug can be discovered now, but only be abused long down the line. And that can be a big problem, of course.
Yeah, it's really a big issue, but we must find a way around it and fix the bugs.
Yeah, definitely. But it's good that we have those people because they help us, of course. Like, I have. There's, of course, that difference as well between bug bounty hunting and pen testing. I just like I have websites. My websites are open to anybody, and anybody can hack on them. But the thing is, like, really having that website pen tested is a different thing, of course.
Of course, having a website pen tested, like if you are not improving the security part of the website, everyone else could go there and do the same thing everyone else is doing. So I think you should try to improve the encryptions on the website so that it will be harder for hackers to hack website, or just make it categorically formed that there is a pen testing tool, a pen testing ground like lab for the beginners and then for the pros. I don't know if you understand what I mean by that.
Definitely, yeah. Like, uh, if you do pen testing, there's like a. I always say there's like a junior level, medium, and senior. But then again, there's also
Yeah.
really not because I like to give every single pen tester exploratory time, no matter how junior they are. Because you would be surprised with the crazy stuff they pull up sometimes, man. Like even the most junior
So
people can get some crazy ideas, and that's why I think it's always important to hear everybody, but also to respect the people who have experience with this stuff and who say that if something should be tested at least in that way, then it should be coverage. Coverage is a lot in pen testing, you know, making sure. And I always say this as well in all of my contracts. I never guarantee that you're 100% safe. I cannot do that. Nobody can.
we cannot do that. If you make such guarantee, then you are going to put yourself in trouble. You're definitely going to get yourself into trouble because,
Yes.
man, my first week into pen testing, my first week, I found a little bug. Like, I was able to edit the front end part of Tesla's website. I was paid about $100 for finding the bug there, the XSS. I explored the XSS issue there, and then I was able to edit. Like I edited the code, and it reflected in the source code there.
Hmm.
I reported to. I found the bug bounty program on bugcrowd.com. So I tried it and it worked. Although I followed the tutorial to do that, but then it worked. You understand?
That's awesome.
I got paid for that. So
That's good. That's something that
even though
you should be proud
that's
of. Good
like
job, man.
yeah,
It's
it really it took a lot of work. It was a
of
12 hours
course.
video I was watching, but then I had to pause the video and do my enumerations, like find really dig deeper to see if I can find any bug because I'm really passionate about this thing. Like I want to see how hacking is. The zeal. How sweet it is to, when you are getting into the pen testing world newly, you have this excitement. You want to explore things. So I had to try that. And I found something, and it's already fixed. It's already fixed. So
Thankfully, they're
that's
usually fast in that. I'm really grateful for that.
yeah, really good. So you have to be making the security part of the website stronger so that when pen testers hack into it, you will know the person is really improving. Like I would like to improve on my knowledge. If I pen test your website now, found some bugs, and you don't fix it, I wouldn't come there again to test my knowledge. The fact is that I will move on to a stronger place to test my knowledge if I am improving in the field. So you shouldn't make it just for beginners. You understand? I think you have a team, right? You have a team of cybersecurity personnel.
Definitely, yeah. Like I never
Uh, you should
operate alone.
you should work on improving the website so it will be stronger. What's the website? You have to drop it in the comment box so that people can go there and try out stuff.
Yeah, like I say, I think it's super important to not operate alone, even if it's just for consulting. Just saying, hey, can you at least have a look at my test plan? Because I know I make a lot of mistakes. I'm human. It's normal. People make mistakes. So reviewing is part of the process. And
Sure.
it's important to have that done by a peer, not somebody who's like miles above you or miles below you, but somebody who's about on the same level, I think, because somebody who's miles above you, like they will of course know what's best, but they might not have the best way to communicate it with you. I think it's better to have somebody at about your level, and of course there can be leadership, there can be supervision, but it shouldn't go to the micromanagement level, in my opinion, especially not in pen testing.
Sure. Pen testing is a um, broad topic to talk about. So, um,
Definitely. By the way, hey Arshit, how are you doing, my friend? You're hello.
hi.
Good
I'm
to
good.
meet you.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm happy. I've had a pretty good, well, I've had a stressful day, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm happy now. I'm chilling a little bit, playing RuneScape on like a stream, talking to you guys, so I'm good.
Okay, that's great.
Thank you. How are you, man? Hope you had a good day.
Yeah, I too have a good day. Just a bit of my job work. Now I am doing a hunt.
Bug
uh,
hunting.
yeah, right, bug
Oh,
hunting.
go fuck shit up, bro. Go fuck shit up. I like that. I hope you find like $1 million, man. I really do. I'm rooting for you.
Oh, so
Like, if I can I give you some tips on bug bounty hunting? If you don't mind, of course.
sure.
So the way I do bug bounty hunting, or the way I approach it, and I always tell my clients to do the same way. First of all, be smart about it. If everybody's pulling out their hacking tools the moment they see the application, don't. Leave those hacking tools alone. Go read a fucking manual. That's the first
Okay.
thing. Use your application like a normal attacker would. Second of all, do weird shit. And I don't mean do the OWASP top 10, do the CWE top 25. No, I mean do weird shit. Throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. Sometimes with throwing 50 random ADB commands, you can do some weird stuff. Believe me, by just fucking with an application, a web application, you can do some weird stuff. People have shown me that. That is obvious from the web app that I've built. But besides that, also really important, when you start, whatever field you enter, enter single quote, double quote, backtick, and then greater than sign, and then enter
Okay.
image, so an image tag in HTML, source equals x, like a broken image, and then dollar sign, squiggly parentheses, 7 times 7, closing squiggly parentheses. Why is that so important? Because later on in the application, if you're gonna get like your name that's gonna be withdrawn from the database, you're automatically testing for stored cross-site scripting without having to go back and change your name. You're testing for stored SQL injection. There is like a lot of things that you're testing with that one attack vector. Is it fully proof? No, of course not. If your if your target uses like LDAP, make sure that you have LDAP in there. If your target uses like NoSQL injection, make sure that you put some NoSQL injection in there. But just make sure that you understand your target before you start attacking it. I keep saying this, but people don't understand me. I keep telling people go hunt on. There's this great bug bounty program called Hoppler. People go hunt on Hoppler. Do you think that anybody registers? I keep telling people register a fucking account. They just don't know how. It's simple. Because to register an account, you first need to know what Hoppler is. Hoppler is a social media network for your neighborhood, meaning that if you want to register, you need a registration code and an address in your neighborhood. What do you do when you need an address? Go to Google Maps. For fuck's sake, is that so hard to get into the head? Then, if you are in Google Maps, you just pick out an address, enter it, register an account, and then you start exploring it. There were like 12 vulnerabilities behind that registration that I found up to this point with people that I coach, and really stupid shit. Like you could rate your neighborhood, you could rate it from 1 to 5 stars. So I was like, what happens if I give it 1 million stars instead of 5? Nothing strange really happened. So I was like, what if I give it A stars instead of a number star? So I give it alphanumerical shit. Nothing really happens. I keep throwing random stuff at it, and this is what I mean when I say do random shit. When I entered negative numbers in there, it suddenly started completely dragging that neighborhood through the mud. So I could fuck up my whole neighborhood score with one request. That's a simple vulnerability, but everybody oversaw that one. So just some bug bounty tips I have for you guys. I hope you like that. Free tips from Uncle Rat. Come get them while they're hot. Sorry. Hey Tom, how are you doing?
I'm really learning a lot from here. Thank you very much for the tip.
My pleasure. I hope you guys learn. I hope you guys find bugs with that, and I hope if you do, you get
I
like
have
some
written
help
down
too.
already some points.
Awesome. If you want, there's like a Medium article that has like my bug bounty methodology on there. And people say I'm a shit bug bounty hunter because my bug bounty platform scores are low. I found 33 vulnerabilities in like 2 months. And then I just quit because I got like number 19 in the leaderboards. I'm not gonna get exploited for free after I reached my goal. I reached my goal, and let's be real, bug bounties is exploitative. Whether you like it or not, it's exploitative. Do I think it's a bad thing? No. It's just exploitative because you work for free. Does that mean it's bad? No, because they offer you a free environment to test on. A real life target to test your skills against. That's something you will not find outside of bug bounty. Of course, there's security.txt and stuff like that. But bug bounty is where that's at. Let's be real. All of the big things are on bug bounty platforms. So they offer you a platform there. So, is it exploitative? Yes. Is it bad? No, because you can't get it any other way. It's like a drug. You have to go through your dealer for your drug, aka the black market, or you can go to like a pharmacy to get like a syringe, which has like some good old BB in it, aka bug bounties. By the way, it's a real rush when you find a bug bounty and you ask yourself 15 times, is this real? Am I not testing this wrong? I keep doing that. Am I really not fucking shit up? And I ask like 5 people, bro, watch my screen. Am I fucking shit up here? And I know it's not always allowed, so I officially only do it where collaboration is allowed. But like my cat, that's a motherfucker. Be careful with my cat. He'll do bug bounties wherever he pleases. I don't even have a cat. Hey Tom, how are you, my friend? This is going weird. This conversation. You're on mute, by the way, Tom. Don't know if you know that. Is that a dog or a cat in your profile picture, by the way? Because we are banning cats here.
Why do you hate cats, man?
Dude, the thing is, I'm a rat and I love cats. I'm a real fucking cat person.
You are a cat, and you are a rat. You love cats. Why rats doesn't like cats because they are like the worst rivals on earth. No, you are a rat. You are the rat.
They say that we are enemies, rats and cats, but in reality, we just fuck cats up and they can't handle that situation. And who can blame them, man?
We're finding cats, but how about some pussy?
Well, that's also fucking banned. This is a sausage fest, bro. Have you fucking scrolled through these, like, people here? No offense to anybody, but let's be real. Fucking cybersecurity is a sausage fest. Like, I've met a few women in cybersecurity, and I have the utmost respect for them because they get berated to hell by people like some of,
Yeah,
like, what
you
the
should
fuck
go
is
for real, brother. For real, brother. Hashtag for real.
unbelievable? Like, it's like I think we should really encourage women in cybersecurity, but not just to encourage women in cybersecurity, of course. I think it should be a thing that we should encourage, but it's the same as with anything. We shouldn't just encourage something just to encourage something. I do think that there's big merit in the fact that we are like predominantly male dominated in the STEM fields, basically all of the STEM fields.
I've got a serious question.
Of course, my friend.
Please, brother, please go ahead. If you were going to go to the ATM, what numbers do you push to get the money out?
Dude, if I go to the ATM is like, oh, you poor fucking bastard. Here, have some fucking change.
Just DM me it, please.
I already gave you my password. Like, look on my Twitter feed, you lazy people. Jesus.
Bro, I just put 2 grams in a black and mild. I feel immortal.
And a what? Bro, seriously, you have to be careful with drugs, man. Drugs are bad, okay? Haven't you watched South Park, man? What the fuck?
Oh, voila, voila. Yeah, that's right, brother.
Sorry. I'm a little bit tipsy myself. I probably shouldn't stream while drunk.
Well, let's see your tits.
Alright, alright. everybody, everybody on stream can see that. All one people. Let's go. Woo! I get. I bet every single one of you guys is gushing in your pants right now. I knew it. I fucking knew it. Now let's get back to cybersecurity because this is getting real fucking strange. So, anybody got a cybersecurity question or thing you would like to ask or say? By the way, John's here. If you guys don't know, John is. Sorry if I misrepresent you, John, but from what I've
That's a
heard.
fact.
Oh, fuck no. That is a fucking immediate ban. There we go. That is a fucking no go.
I have a question.
What is up, my friend?
Okay, like I told you before, I'm new in the field, and can you list out like the kind of vulnerabilities like I should be looking out for,
Alright.
and probably the best ways to go about looking for them.
So everything a scanner can't look for. By the way, don't fuck with John. John is fucking amazing, and he's also fucking scary as fuck. He'll smile at you while thinking, "How can I destroy the world?" And he'll be dead seriously looking you in the eyes. And if you know his history, you know what I'm talking about. But right now,
I'm a white hat. I'm a white hat. I'm an AppSec engineer, and I'm here to help you.
exactly. While he does that, he thinks about chaos, just like me. We both love chaos. But like, John is also into Web3 quite a lot. So if you have any questions about that, he'll also gladly help you with that. Um, as for what you should be looking for as a beginner, everything a scanner can't look for, like IDOR's broken access control, business logic vulnerabilities. All of those things are really important to get right because like those things, I know that AI is coming up real big, but we'll never be able to teach it proper broken access control testing, in my opinion. Like logic, that's a step too far in that direction at this moment. I don't know what the future will hold, but that's how I foresee it. Now that
I
right
have a
now,
D&D metaphor for prioritizing attack surface.
oh, I would love to hear that.
All right, so you're on a D&D quest, and you end up in a time bubble, and your party is in front of a cave. And you go into the cave and you die, and you get warped back to the beginning of the cave and put a mark on the wall. How do you go about getting through the cave with the full knowledge that you went in before and died, but you don't remember what happened?
Oh, that's a good one. So you went in, you died, you don't remember what happened.
And you look over and you see two marks on the wall.
Definitely gonna investigate those, of course.
Well, you're dead already. How would you see whatever it is on the wall? Well, you put the marks on the wall. Every time you die, you put another mark on the wall. And so you see 6 marks on the wall.
Is it like six?
A dead person doesn't do anything. You're dead already.
No, no, it's like a D&D thing. Like you're playing a board game, and every single time you die, you're like at the cave entrance back again, and you have another marking on the wall, right, Sean? And is it like?
Okay, now I get it. Now I get it. And this is exactly like pen testing. Because if you know you're the first pen tester, then you know what to prioritize. And if you know they've been hardened for 6 months and they're like corporate and they did OWASP top 10, then you know what to start looking for. And if you look over and you see 2.4 billion marks on the wall, then you know you're the 10th pen tester and they're hardened and they're fintech and they're throwing everything at you and they have an IR team. And you have to get super creative and you have to do batshit things that make no sense. And that's the only way you have a chance.
Yeah, I love that idea. I really do. Like I've noticed this as well, especially in like bug bounties, because you will often have a bug bounty program where you have like literally 100 people gone before you, and you can see their posts, you can see their tries, you can see their success attempts, and it's discouraging. But it helps to a degree, but I also say it just helps in telling you where not to look. So I think John is telling the same thing. Like, you shouldn't be looking in those places that have already been thoroughly investigated, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh, exactly. And you can predict what's already been investigated.
Yeah, definitely. Often it's gonna be the low-hanging fruit with automated scanners that's already gone, which is also why I said don't go for shit that scanners can go for anyway. Because like, and even then, like, the things that scanners can go for are very limited. I built all of my labs very specifically to beat scanners. Like, none of the scanners out there, commercial or not, can beat all of my labs. Most only find four out of like 20 that I throw at them. So it's definitely something that you, even if a lot of people have gone before you should also take that with a grain of salt and retest. Like, think my application here, especially these days with agile release cycles, might get released every 2 weeks, and that might bring like great strain on the programming team, giving regression bugs an issue, a chance. For example, you're a programmer, you go on holiday for 2 weeks, you come back, you check your code in, and on your laptop you still had that bug because you didn't pull in the new code before you did a push. So you push in that exploit again, and in all of those 150 things that you pushed, that exploit gets lost. Things might resurface even. I've seen that happen quite a lot, especially since I'm a QA engineer with normal functional bugs. I see that happen all of the time. And it doesn't even have to be this scenario. There's like a million scenarios where regression bugs can be an issue. You have a feature that's going to be rewritten, but there's no documentation. You have issues communicating between teams because teams don't work together well. You have issues with analysis because from the start we know that analysis is made but needs to be adapted throughout the process, usually is not done. All of these things can definitely have an influence. Sorry, I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. I'm sorry. Uh, how are you? I think Stefan was next, right? You're on mute, by the way, Stefan. Or Steven, sorry. Maybe it's Steven. I'm really bad at names, so excuse me if it's wrong. What the fuck is that? Somebody said speedrun reincarnation roll for intuition. What the fuck? Is that a RuneScape thing? How?
And then Nasrin is next. Are you right?
Hey, Nasrin.
Do you have my voice?
Yes, perfect. Great to have you. How are you?
Thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Great. I want to talk about. Actually, I'm asking a question about SMS bot attacks. When people start to bypass reCAPTCHA, what will be the next solution?
That's a good one. That's a very good one. The thing is with CAPTCHA that you can already beat it very easily. You can buy like a bot farm, and you can even buy like just literal people who do nothing but solve CAPTCHAs all day in farms. It's terrible, but like people in low income countries, they get hired in these farms, and they do nothing but solve CAPTCHAs all day long. They look at the screen, they solve it. They look at the screen, they solve it. You can buy this in bulk already. It's a big problem. And of course, you can protect against that in certain ways because right now, with CAPTCHAs, they're not only watching that kind of behavior where it's like, okay, solve this CAPTCHA now, but they're literally watching the user behavior. Like, okay, could this be a bot? Because of course bots behave erratically. We don't know exactly what parameters they're watching for, and even just outright banning requests based on the fact that they might be a bot or not CAPTCHA or not. You could see this especially in high security applications. They just outright ban anything that even remotely looks like a bot, and they just literally obligate you to use specific things. Um, if even that is defeated, because of course bots are getting smarter, and it's like AI fighting AI, because we know that these CAPTCHA bots, they are basically learning from the user as well. So the CAPTCHA bot can learn how to beat a CAPTCHA, then the CAPTCHA gets smarter, CAPTCHA bot can learn how to beat that again. I think it's like a cat and mouse game, just like cybersecurity. But I also think, I don't know, CAPTCHA might be the wrong concept. Does anybody else have an opinion on that?
Um, One other approach is having tiered user accounts and trying to identify, once you do allow them in, how to have a limited initial user account and then fingerprinting them and trying to suss out if they're a bot user. And not how you can necessarily kill their account, but how you can honeypot or trap their account. Shutting them down is just going to teach them how to evade it.
Yeah.
So don't even shut down their account.
That's true. I learned that from my website as well. If I have exploiters on there, I don't ban them. I try to get on their friendly side because I need to know how they're doing it. That's the thing. If I ban them, they're just gonna make another user and do it again and keep on doing it until I fix it. So that's definitely one thing. And also, there are other ways to implement rate limiting as well, of course, besides reCAPTCHA. You can just think about if I have too many requests from the same IP address, MAC address, and I know you can easily spoof MAC. I know you can spoof. You can use VPN and shit like that. But still, it all makes things a lot complexer, of course. And if you're doing things like password stuffing, that's an attack that I can see that is maybe a little bit harder to prevent. But like John said, as long as you are able to honeypot them and maybe capture what they're doing, that's also a good thing, of course. If you can fingerprint them, then just honeypot them. That's a great idea. I'm gonna run with that. Thanks a lot, John. Really appreciate it.
I'm here to help.
And thank you, Nasrin.
Thank you.
Great question.
Thank you very much.
Are you developing something with CAPTCHA, if you don't mind me asking?
I prefer not to answer.
Okay. I understand. Yeah, I'm developing something, but I am not implementing CAPTCHAs yet, though I should. I really, really should. I'm a freaking idiot for not doing it. Because now that I think about it, it would solve quite a lot of my problems. Because like I have this problem where people are sending spam requests to get items from my website, and I've been able to fix it now. But if they're not able to send those requests, I also have rate limiting and DOS protection and stuff like that. But it doesn't really work that well. That DOS protection. Need to have a look at it still. I do that on Nginx level.
But that's how you make your stuff stronger, is by not using the primary defensive captchas and fighting them on their territory. That's the way you get strong.
Yeah, like for example, one stupid thing, I refuse to use email verification for like shit like just passwords even. I don't send password reset links to emails. It's too risky. You get a password reset token. If you lose it, it's gone. I'm sorry, it's gone. The problem with that is if I allow security always brings compromises. But if I allow email reset, often if they get your account on that, they have a keylogger on my website, because if they get into my website, believe me, there are hackers constantly attacking my website. Even now as we speak, I can see the requests coming in. DDoS from China being blocked, for freak's sake. Why China? What the hell? This website's only been online for a few days. What's going on? But anyway, like it's strong. It's stronger than most websites, I'd say. It's definitely not impenetrable, but like John says, it helps just to not have mod security on there even. I was considering having mod security on there with like proper rules and shit like that, but it only makes things more complicated.
I do have another option other than CAPTCHA that's from Web3.
Ah, that I like that.
Alright, so you all know what proof of work is. Like, your computer chugs away and tries to solve a complex problem. Yeah?
Yeah.
Like brute forcing. And so you can give people a proof of work challenge that their computer and JavaScript will solve. And instead of giving them a caption, give them a proof of work that will cost 30 seconds and 10 cents in electricity. And that could just be garbage, like calculate the largest prime of these two numbers or something. And yeah, so if they are a bot farm, it could cost them thousands of dollars to do hundreds of tries or millions of tries. And then you can set the proof of work relative to the level. It's silly, but just a thought.
Why not crypto mining with that? That's a good idea. Crypto mining on back of.
It's a win-win.
Exactly. Yeah, come please bot my website. I really appreciate it. Send us
Keep
many
solving the
requests.
captions.
Yes. Please keep coming, all of those bots. Oh man, if all of these requests that I'm getting in from China right now would solve captchas at 10 cents a piece, I'd be a freaking billionaire. Never have to work in my life again.
There you go. Become one of those captcha solving bot farms and farm out the people solving your captchas.
Oh man, I like your ideas. Okay,
Here to
so
help.
by tomorrow that's getting started up. Good, writing this down. Sorry, that those are all strange topics. Welcome back, Steven. How are you, man? Hope you're doing well. Can you hear us now? That's still a no-go. Hey, Pecco, how are you? I love that image.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Are you a shadow person?
A shadow person? Yeah.
Okay,
Shadow broker.
then. Welcome, Mr. Shadow Broker.
So the question I had was sorry, I'm at work right now. I'm Amazon driving.
That's okay.
What was it?
We can hear it perfectly.
Oh, so as far as tools to use, so like one of the issues that I find while I'm like studying and like reading and learning is that there's an endless amount of tools and information and ways to do things, and people do things their own way. And each company, like if you want to work for a company, they use their own tools, like that are specific to them that they found. What is some like a way to find those tools or like to practice with like stuff that they use, so like you feel more ready for a job rather than like learning a bunch of stuff and then having it be useless when you actually get a job because they're using and doing things a whole different way. If that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. What I've learned to work best for me in my company is use all the tools that are available to us. Like literally, if we do vulnerability scanning, I'll tell my people to do Burp Suite, to do OSP Zap, to do OpenVAS, to do Neural Legion. I have like 5 different vulnerability scanners that I use, and they all come up with different things. So any company that limits themselves to only one tool set is a little bit idiotic. But besides that, there's also just stuff that they automate themselves. Like we are currently automating a lot of stuff from ourselves as well that we are that's signature to our company, but it's more like a tool set that we want to offer our clients. What we are automating is like a security pen test, an API security pen test that has a CSV file as input with links, parameters, different things you want to test on that specific thing, and all that's all you have to enter. We install it for you. We do everything, CI/CD pipeline, everything you want for like 16 grand. And like that is our gonna be our signature flagship product. If you think about all of these big pen testing companies, they all have like this flagship product that they are known for, and it took on like a few of those attempts to get big. But like that's why I have HackerRats, that's why I have Hackspert, that's why I have that. I have many different things that I'm working on at the same time. I could probably focus more now that I'm thinking about it. But then again, focusing too much is never good.
Yeah.
Sorry, a little bit random. Maybe John has some
No.
ideas about that as well, because I think you've seen some tool sets used in companies, right, John?
Uh, yeah. I mean, I'm on the AppSec side, so if you're into static code analysis and all that, but
Maybe more like
no.
generic thing, like because I can understand where you're coming from. If you're like into QA engineering, you either have a company that uses Jira or you have a company that uses Spira Team. It's like two different tools, and they can do about the same thing. Of course, Jira doesn't have configuration management. That's what Spira known for. But Jira does have test case management. Spira has test case management. Some use IBM tools. It's hard to get in that, but I think just having a general idea of how these tools work is the best thing you can do.
I I was out on my own and I always wrote my own stuff because the thing I'm most interested in is latency. And that's my primary attack vector is your latency from good calls, bad calls, valid email addresses, invalid email addresses, or if I'm attacking a single API, if I hit it from different regions, the latency between those regions, or if I'm making like synchronous calls that have to happen in an order, but I fire them in through different, like, you're a global company, so I go through different regions on the same account. I'm interested in latency, and none of the tools that I found back in the day tracked latency, so I ended up writing my own.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean there. Like when I was working at the public transport company here in Belgium, we had like these IoT devices on the buses that would send back data to these servers. And the thing is, we could never monitor these devices properly because there was just wasn't enough room. There was like a few megabytes of RAM left and like some CPU space that we could use. So what I did was I wrote a Python script that just collected all of these things with system calls, and then I just plugged in a USB stick into the bus literally to download the files, plugged it into my own server, and at the end I literally even wrote like a piece of Python code that put the files on a shared server, and then I had a Python script on my own computer that would generate like charts from these things that I needed. And I was into performance testing, of course, so that was all that I needed. Really, I really needed that stuff. But of course, like John said, at a certain point you'll get to write your own stuff as well, your own tools, which is really cool. At that point, you know that you understand what you're doing properly, because you can't write your own tools without knowing that, you know.
And when you write your own tools, you can fuck up some really low level stuff.
Oh yeah,
And
like sorry.
oh, one of my favorites is just messing up checksums. Like, by standard, UDP does not have a checksum. That's an interesting fact.
Ah, that's a good one. Thanks, did not know that. I like to do.
Yeah, it's an RFC.
Like people should really read these RFCs, man. I don't understand why people don't read RFCs. Like, you know how?
It's the deep check.
Yeah, and like a lot of these cross-site scripting attacks, for example, they happen because of the interpretation in these RFCs. You know, it's like some browsers interpret an RFC in way X, some interpret them in way Y, and it's like these small differences, like how to repair specific broken HTML code. Some will repair it properly, where you get your XSS attack, some will not. That's why some attack vectors only work on some specific browsers. The interpretation of the rules is ambiguous on that specific browser for that specific rule. Really cool shit. What I also like is bitwise fuzzing, where you literally go and you fuzz on the bit level. That's freaking awesome as well. Some weird stuff happens with that. People always do like normal fuzzing, where you do alphanumeric or whatever. That's cool and all, but like bitwise fuzzing gets you the real cool shit. That's hard, of course. That's really that's well hard. It's not really hard. You just have to get Like you just have to spend some time learning it and doing it, actually doing it. That's the thing. And if I can give you a tip, create your own vulnerable applications as well to a degree. Like just create an application that you can fuck around with and hack till it's like broken into oblivion, and then secure it a little bit better. Okay, now how can I hack it again? That's how you get better. You, of course, you can attack labs that other people have written, but the big problem with labs that other people make, and also my own, by the way, I have naked labs. Naked labs are just small pieces of lab where you know there's a vulnerability with one feature in isolation. It never works like that in production. Believe me, there's gonna be 5,000 different features that you can test in 50,000 different ways, and they never teach you how to string these things together, how to actually look for vulnerabilities. They teach you how to exploit vulnerabilities. That's what you need to realize. As soon as you realize that, you're golden. Because then, you know, I need to learn how to look for these things as well. That's a different thing. That's why I made Rat Site. If you guys want to hack a cool site, go to hackspert.com/ratsite. There's 45 vulnerabilities, and right now I think I have 14 active. And in like 30 minutes, there's gonna be like another random set that's gonna activate. It's madness. I love madness. I have like these little flags around my vulnerabilities. If flag in database equals active, vulnerability is active. Really freaking cool shit. I should publish that source code someday. Hey Morris, how are you doing, my friend? I think I've seen you before in some of my spaces. You're on mute, by the way. No, no, no reaction. Okay. Then I guess we'll go to the next person. Anybody else?
Could I plug the room for an ask real quick?
Of course.
Cool. Thank you. So, we got Narcium, or Nasrim. Your hand's up. What's up?
Just another question. Is it okay to ask?
Of course.
About 2FA, when developers insist on enable 2FA with SMS or application, both two ways are phishable. And as I read recently, there is a new method, FIDO authentication, that they say that this is the only way that resists against phishing attacks. I'm willing to talk about that if it's okay.
Of course.
Is it the only way?
I'd be happy to jump on that if you want.
Love to.
Sure. So the reason why you would say a Google authentication code or an SMS code is phishable is because it allows the attacker to trigger that code to you and get you to give up that code to them, and then of course they can go to the website, right? So FIDO does a 2FA challenge handshake on your session tunnel. You can almost think of it like on the cookie, or like a challenge response over your active session with the website. So you can't give that over to the attacker. I mean, you technically could do a handshake with their tunnel, but anyways, it's effectively impossible for you to do a 2FA handshake on their tunnel. And if you wanted to make a phishable resistant SMS, what you would want to do is present data on the website that is relevant to their session. I don't know, some of the old ISPs or layer 3 servers used to give you a code on their website, and you could put that in on your phone or on another portal, and then that would authenticate your session. Anyways, if you present something in their session that they have to return over the SMS, then you could be validating that you are authenticating their session tunnel. So you would give them the code 1234 to type into the website. The website would come back with a challenge 567. and they would have to respond to the SMS with 567, and that would say what session. So the link is between the 2FA and the session on their computer, and that's the phishable point that Fido solves.
Thank you very much, John. I really
Thank you,
appreciate
John.
that. It's awesome having you here. If you guys haven't already, go give John a follow. And of course, um, if you guys like John, he's also in the DGen Awards, so go vote for him. We guys have quite a few way to go. We still need like 21% of the votes, so get your ass moving, guys. What the hell are you still doing here? Go click on that pinned tweet up there. Like, Jesus.
If anyone's running a bot farm, it would be ever so helpful if I got over 9,000 votes, so thank you.
I'll talk to my cat later today.
It would be a shame.
I don't know if you guys remember that that voting that 4chan fucked up totally. By they just let you vote over and over again, and they fucked up a lot of votes over the years. It's like that Mountain Dew flavor. They made that very big lady. They made her beauty queen of something. Oh man, the good old days of 4chan. Sorry, I'm an old beatard.
Dude, I do miss it. Then I grew up and I moved to Reddit, and then I grew up and I moved to Twitter, and here I am.
Exactly. And now we're trying to help people and teach them a little bit, and that's why I appreciate so many people coming to these spaces as well. We might talk a lot of shit here, but we also try to at least teach a little bit. Today I wrote a little bit of a story, by the way, guys. If you would like to read that, you can go to my Twitter account and check one of my latest tweets. It's a story, just a little story about a mouse or a rat opening a bank, and it explains you how CSRF works, or at least I try to explain how CSRF works in the most user-friendly way for somebody who's almost never used a computer. Why do I do that? Because I want to teach my kid hacking. Not yet. She's only 3 years old, but soon, soon. So I'm already preparing. I'm writing like a whole book that I can tell her stories out of, and everybody on Hackerats can enjoy it as well, or maybe be tortured by it. Because some people don't seem to like Hackerats, which is a shame, but of course, not everybody's gonna like the concept of playing a game to learn, you know? Like, I don't know if you guys, what is the name of that game again? YOLO Space Pirates or something. It's a pretty good game. It teaches you the basics of Nmap, some concepts there, Nikto. It literally asks you to like scan this spaceship now to get entries, scan the ports and shit like that. So it does a real good job. I like the idea of gamifying hacking. I just don't like the way that current platforms are doing it. Gamification is not just, hey, you get some experience from answering this and you level up. No, that's fun, but like gamification should be real gamification. You answer a question, you win something, you gain knowledge, and you move on, and you get stronger, aka you learn more, you get smarter, and you're able to fight bigger monsters, get bigger shit. Uh, that should be gamification, in my opinion. Learning skills, being able to do skills with answering questions like woodcutting, like I'm doing on screen right now on the stream. And those things are awesome to me. Sorry, I'm in love with my own website. I shouldn't be. Anyway, does anybody else have any questions or any remarks about security? We would love to hear from you, of course. I'm gonna just knock my own glasses off. I'm that excited. And we also have a question from the stream itself. Do you like Nuclei, bro? Obviously created custom templates. Yeah, definitely. I love Nuclei. The thing with Nuclei is that there's a lot of community templates, but you can easily look for CVEs that have a POC available that are not available in the database of those public repositories yet. And of course, you can add it yourself, or you can hog it, do whatever the fuck you want. I don't give a shit. But that's an idea that you can have. You can just go and look from Google, look for those CVEs, and then again, you can put them in the repository, or if you don't want to, you can keep them yourself and scan your own subdomains with that. Up to you, but I love Nuclei. It's a great tool. It can do so many things, you know. It's basically just a template that you fill in a YAML file, and there's a few options in that YAML file that you have, but they basically describe a request and what the response should look like. So yeah, do I love Nuclei? Definitely. Hey, how are you doing, Mika? Is that pronounced well, Mika? You're muted, by the way. Don't know if you're speaking, but we cannot hear you. There we go.
Okay, good evening.
Hey, good evening, friend. How are you?
I'm fine.
Having a
So
good night?
how are you doing? I'm just searching for a free space and I come across cybersecurity chat day. I say, wow, let me join this live chat.
Yeah, thanks for joining, man. I really appreciate it. And I really
Yeah, I'm
appreciate
from
everybody being
Nigeria.
here.
I just heard the voice. I say, let me just enter in order to get some knowledge.
Yeah, like I hope that you do at least get some knowledge and that we don't just talk bullshit here. Of course, it needs to happen. You need to laugh in life. I think life is too serious anyway. If you
Yeah,
want,
thank you very much. So I'll follow you. I will send you direct messages by God grace.
thank you very much, my friend. I really appreciate your support.
Yeah.
And just like being here and being able to chill and being able to whine about my day really makes it better, you know. Again, it wasn't that great. It was kind of terrible, but now we made it, and now we can chill a little bit. I'm not gonna stay
Yeah,
too long anymore though, because it's already half past midnight. Oh, time
yeah,
flies.
exactly. So that is you people used to come host it live every day or there's a specific time for doing it.
I'm gonna try to host these more regularly, at least 2 or 3 times a week. And FTR, they're gonna be at the same time, yeah. They're gonna be at 11 p.m. CEST.
No problem. By God grace, I will try my possible best to mention in order to get some knowledge again.
Sorry if you hear background noises, by the way, it's raining in the background.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Hey, Nasrin. Oh, you're going. Bye bye. Let's see, let's connect Ikram. Hey, how are you doing, Ikram?
Probably still connecting.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Hey, girl.
Can you hear me properly now?
Yes, perfectly.
Alright. How are you?
Doing good, thank you. How about you?
Yeah, I'm good. Glad to just speak to you. And I have one question because I believe in free education. So my question is the course for free? And how long would it take to get skills? Because I'm new to code. I just like last year I started learning JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. So I'm still new, and but I'm really interested in cybersecurity and artificial intelligence tools. And I'm wondering if there is a free education that I can find in my laptop at home, or all courses is required money. That's my question because I believe in free education. Is it still?
Yeah, definitely. And I believe in free education as well, free of money. I need to be clear here, free of money. But that's why I created hackerats.com. On hackerats.com, you can learn and you get karma from learning. Like you solve quizzes, you Google the answer to the quizzes, you learn about it, you get karma, and with the karma you can get courses. So you can earn your courses basically. And it's not just my courses. Right now it is, but it's also gonna be try hack me vouchers, hack the box vouchers, other people's courses like Cyber Mentor. I'm gonna put a lot of things on there. And like some of my courses are free as well. You can definitely find them. I'll after this remind me to put out. I'll put out a tweet about all of the free courses after this chat. But I definitely have a few there, and some other. I can't remember the name, but there are definitely some great free resources online. The thing is, everything is available for free online. And I'm gonna maybe shoot myself in the foot here, but I don't really think so because I've been open about this from the start. Everything in my courses, everything in anybody else's courses is freely available online. What you're buying into is the knowledge of the teacher and the fact that he's creating a set path for you. You can follow that path, but you can also create your own path and learn about it that way. Uh, like for example, OSCP. OSCP often tells you go look this up, go look that up, go look that up, go learn about this online. It's like almost a guide of what you need to look up.
Yeah, there are more. Yeah, well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for information I needed. Thank you.
My pleasure, and thanks for joining as well. I'm gonna thank everybody, and I'm going to end right here because I am going to bed in a bit. One more question that came: what do you recommend for subdomain enumeration? Best choice. If you guys want my tip on subdomain enumeration, just use all of the tools and do subdomain brute forcing as well. Why is nobody doing subdomain brute forcing? I don't get it. It's so easy to do. Like it's it's you can do it with WFuzz. Like you just I'm not gonna get too bothered about this. Just so you know, subdomain brute forcing. It's a thing. You can't even really find. I don't know. Can you find a good article subdomain brute forcing? I think you can. I think Nahamsek talked about it. Yeah, DNS brute forcing, subroot, DNS brute forcing. Why is nobody talking about that? People should do that a lot more. Not just enumeration, brute forcing. Alright, I'm gonna thank everybody for coming this fine evening, and thank you very much, John, for being my co-host. I really appreciate it. I'm going to leave you alone and spare you from my annoying voice for this evening. And I
One
guess.
last question, please.
Oh, of course. Sorry, it was Allison. Go ahead. Didn't see you there.
Yeah, you mentioned a course you did to learn how to find bugs. I didn't quite catch that one, so those were my two questions now. What it is
The bug bounty methodology.
the
Uh,
bug bouncy methodology?
I will put out a tweet about that bug bounty methodology.
That teaches how to find bugs.
Yeah, definitely exists rat on. Jesus. There we go. Bug bounty methodology, version 4. I think I have version 5 out already, but I'm not sure. That's how I add links. Yeah, so I'm going to add the link hackrats.com, and I'm going to add this link. So the link that I've added right now is the bug bounty methodology I was talking about. Alright, my friends, I wish you good night, good evening, good day, or whatever you're about to have, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, my friends. Love you. Also on Twitch, of course. Thank you very much for tuning in, because this was one of my first streams. I have streamed before in the past. I didn't really know what to stream, but why not these spaces, right? It's a perfect opportunity. I would like to thank everybody for coming and watching. I'll put this VOD up on YouTube as well, so you guys can watch there. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye, amazing hackers.